गोरी है कलाइया तू ला दे मुझे हरी हरी चूड़िया अपना बना ले मुझे साजना. Singing was always the dream, the passion. And then when I moved to India, of course, VJing bhi ho gaya, singing bhi, acting bhi, it just all fell into place. So I guess I'm lucky I got the opportunities and I took them. And then earlier this year, I suddenly got a jhatka and I said, oh my God, I have this song and everyone's talking about trending songs and people are back to recreations and I have this and it's an absolute classic. I never thought my life and my career would bring me to India. As much as I loved Hindi movies, मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि मेरा नाम यहाँ पे बनेगा. I thought it was going to be there. Hey guys, this is Sophie Choudry and you're watching me on Mirchi Plus.
Hello everyone, my name is Siddharth Shukla. Welcome to Mirchi Plus. Today we have with us extremely gorgeous and super talented Sophie Choudry. Sophie, a very warm welcome to Mirchi Plus.
Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
So I want to start with the fact singing, acting, dancing, TV show host, and I was reading somewhere London School of Economics.
Yeah.
How? Why and how?
Why and how? I guess London School of Economics because I used to love studying. I wanted to be a pop star. I didn't know it would happen. So I just said that in case I become a pop star, I want to be one of the few who has an education. I wanted to be different, always. Also, I think college is what shapes you. That's where you become the person you're going to become. Singing was always the dream, the passion. And then when I moved to India, of course, VJing bhi ho gaya, singing bhi, acting bhi, it just all fell into place. So I guess I'm lucky I got the opportunities and I took them. You know, whatever the outcome was, I was always willing to take a chance and willing to take a risk and see what happens. Because one lesson I learned very early on in life is if you don't take risks, you risk losing more.
True.
So I would rather take the risk.
That's a lesson for me.
Yeah, so it's been amazing. I feel really grateful to have tried all of them. But of course, singing, music videos, performing live is what I love the most.
Yeah, speaking of music, your new song, Gori Hai, is a huge hit. I think it has crossed some 15 plus million views on YouTube now, and it's only increasing. What was your driving force to, you know, re-render this old huge hit song?
Well, I mean, I think, so I had the rights of this since the last 6 years. So
really?
I was given the rights of the song 6 years ago to make. And I made a version back then with my music director, Vikram Montrose. And it was really good. Yeah. But I just wasn't convinced. I was like, I don't feel like now is the time. I just feel we can do something else with it. So I put it on the back burner. And then earlier this year, I suddenly got a jhatka and I said, oh my God, I have this song and everyone's talking about trending songs and people are back to recreations and I have this and it's an absolute classic. So got the team back together. We completely reworked the song and we were really aware of keeping the original nostalgic vibe, but I needed to make it very new.
Yeah.
I needed to be real or TikTok relevant as well. And that's why we were really careful with the music, how it was programmed, the groove, the beat. I wanted it to be the kind of song that's not just popular like for upcoming weddings and all, but the kind of song that everyone can dance to, everyone can lip sync to, everyone can have a good time performing on it. So that's what we wanted.
Just happy vibes.
Yeah, happy vibes. And just, I also wanted to make it very like today because the original song is what, 32 years old.
Yeah.
Apart from that hook, the rest of it is not really so relevant today.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, I don't know how old you are, but you're quite young. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Approx? Do you remember the original song? Do you remember the
I do.
You do?
I listen to, so I like music and singing. So I listen to old songs.
So you knew the original song?
Yeah.
But my team, like my choreographer who was 22 and my dancers who were between the age of 19 and 22, they had never heard the original. They did not know it. So they actually thought my song was an original song till I showed them the video and they were like, oh my God. So I realized that by recreating this, I'm also reaching out to a whole new audience who never knew the song.
Exactly.
And I guess that's what happened back in the day with Ik Pardesi also.
Yeah.
Ik Pardesi was a 50s ka gana, which a lot of people had not heard. And when we did it, a lot of people thought it was a remake, a lot of people thought it was new. And that was very special back then, and this is special today as well.
Yeah, so you actually made it a new song only. So you use the old rendition, but then you added, like you said,
we changed a lot.
Yeah,
we changed a lot.
Added it, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
Speaking of, you just mentioned TikTok. So speaking of which, so you know these, what do you think Instagram and social media platforms, you know, especially Instagram and TikToks, the reels, how big contribution do they have in making a song hit or you know, a success?
I mean, I think we have to be honest in that it is important. It does help you gauge how well your song is trending, catching on. But I think we should also realize that in a reel, most people only know 30 seconds of your song. My song is a 2.5 minute song. There's a lot more to it than just Gori Hai. There's a lot more to the song. So, I mean, I think what happens is that so many of us now, I mean, especially like a younger generation, they don't have the patience to listen to an entire song. They know 30 seconds of every song. Only if they love the song will they go and hear the full thing. So for example, Pasuri is a great example, right? The thing that started trending on social media was no one knew anything else. And then when they started hearing that everywhere, suddenly everyone started saying, what is this song? What is this song? And they realized it's Pasuri. Then you heard the full song and you realize, oh my God, this is an incredible song. But it took time. So I'm like, there's either people will know, like there's a Jalebi Baby, you know 30 seconds. You don't know anything else. Baby, let me tell you, Jalebi Baby. I just want to say Jalebi. That's all you know. Do you know the rest of the song? No.
I also don't know.
Yeah, right? Or even, like there's many like that. But there's some which actually break through. And so sometimes social media gets you trending for those 30 seconds. Sometimes it makes the entire song popular. But you cannot deny that it has a huge role to play. There are many songs that get known just because of reels or TikTok. So you have to accept that. But I just hope that people have patience to listen to longer songs.
And especially Gori, I heard it. It's amazing. They have to listen to it.
Thank you.
So, like you said, you know, Ik Pardesi, you mentioned about. Actually, when people heard this song, including myself, they did not know that, you know, it's that old. You know. So, is there like any other song that, you know, in your mind that you feel is your favorite and you want to recreate?
Well, you know, the thing is now everyone's kind of in the movies. If you see, so many people are recreating songs in the movies. Not always doing a great job with them. So there's so many songs which are coming back, and you know, people say, why do you always do remakes? It's not. I have done original songs. My last song was with RDB, with Manj Music, and that was a complete original. Before that, also I did an original. But somehow people like it when I do a remake, and I can't deny that. My biggest hits, if I say ki nahi nahi aisa nahi hai, I'm lying to myself. My biggest hits have been Babu Chal Chabila, Ik Pardesi, Hangama Ho Gaya, Jadugar Saiyan, now Gori Hai, which means people clearly like the way I'm doing a remake. You know, there'll always be like the 1% of the audience who will be like, yaar, aap to remakes hi karte ho. Yeah, phir aap hit kyun bana rahe ho mere remakes? Aap bana rahe ho na? I mean, I'm putting in a lot of work into them, not just taking them and just putting them out there. We're really putting a lot of work. But yeah, I think that somehow the songs that we've always done, touch wood, the music directors, be it Harry, Anand, or whoever's worked on them, have done an amazing job. And we've really tried to stay true to the original, but give it something new as well. And even on the videos, humne hamesha bahut mehnat ki hai. We've really tried to put out videos. Like today, if I watch Ik Pardesi, I myself can't believe it's 16 years old. It still looks new to me. It still looks relevant to me.
People still dance to it.
People still dance to it. People still watch it. So that just says to me that what we made was kind of timeless. So in that, if people are listening to it as a new song, and some people are also going back and listening to the old songs, then that's really what you want. That's why I'm so happy if people start listening to the old songs as well, because they are iconic. I mean, Gori Hai Kalaiyan, the original by Bappa, no matter what I do, I can never match up to it. But what I'm putting out today is like my version of it.
It's yours.
And when his family tell me that they love it and he would have loved it, and they, you know, his son sends me a message saying thanks for keeping dad's legacy alive, then for me that means everything. That's just, that feels like I did a good job.
Speaking of recreations, like you mentioned, there are lots of recreations, and now especially, you know, they're happening. Why do you think they become like sudden hit? Like, what's your take on it? Like, because
I don't think all of them do.
Most of them. Obviously, all of them they don't, but most of them.
Why do I think they become a hit?
Like, what's your take on it? Like, why do you think this happens?
First of all, I think right now in movies, there's very little creativity when it comes to music, because I don't think people are giving music that importance right now. I've said it in all my interviews. The last good album was Sher Shah. The last good song is Kesariya. And I don't know what has happened in between because I don't remember anything. There's very, very few. Kabir Singh was before that, right? So there's Kabir Singh, Sher Shah, and now this. And then in between, you've just had a bunch of remakes or not very good songs. I think that movies are focusing so much on content that they feel the music is not so important. So remake ek bana lete hain, wo easy padta hai. Instant eyeballs, chahe अच्छा bane, chahe बुरा bane, not too much effort. ज़्यादा पैसे का भी खर्चा नहीं है. It's all of these things. It's an economical thing, and it's to grab eyeballs, which I think is sad always because I know that I've made remakes, but I've done them in the pop space. I don't understand why film people are remaking songs. I'm like, why are film people remaking film songs? I'm like, you should be the ones who are doing some original stuff that you know, inspires everybody else.
Exactly.
So that's what I feel about it. But like I always say, I can't be a hypocrite because my biggest successes are remakes. But I've never made them sound like film songs. My remakes always sound like a pop song. I'm very clear about the sound, about the way we present it, the video. So yeah, but I think it's really because people feel it can be an instant hit, but it isn't always. You know, and I really think that even in the film space, there's been very few that are good. I think Aankh Mare was probably one of the best ones that Tanish did. That was really good. But a lot of them have not been.
Speaking of films, have you ever considered or have been offered playback singing?
That's such a great question. You know, when so it's funny, when I came into this industry, my voice was not a typical playback voice. So उस time पे तो बिल्कुल ही chance नहीं था because उस time पे Shreya, Sunidhi, you know, उस type की voices चल रही थी. I did not have a playback voice. So no one was offering me. And जैसे ही different voices आने लग गई, तब मैं actress बन गई and I was singing for myself. So then they were like, she's never going to sing for anybody else. So nobody offered me. So I literally sang for myself in Pyar Ke Side Effects and one other song I did. I was not offered playback, which is so weird, you know. And then I guess everybody just, I guess I was always very firm about the fact that meri awaaz, my face, my voice. So people were like, she's never going to do it. It's not that I wouldn't do it. But I think the timing happened that when I wanted to, my voice was not considered. And when my voice was considered, they thought I wouldn't. So I haven't done playback singing, but I would love to at some point.
So you're open to it?
Oh, always. I've always been open to it. I think when I did this cover version of Uantava on my Instagram that went crazy, suddenly even like the South people, they went, what? You sing like this? We didn't know. Like it was a shock for everyone.
Yeah, I came across it. I completely loved it. I was blown away. I was like, it was such a good rendition of
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people thought I had sung the original, in fact.
Yeah, it sounded that way.
Yeah, but no, Indravati did, and she did an amazing job. But yeah, but it was actually just Samantha and me chatting, and I had messaged her to tell her she's amazing in the song. And she's like, it's time for you to do some Telugu, and just like in a hee-hee, ha-ha way. So I just went into the studio and I just recorded for fun, and it just kind of went a little crazy. So yes, I would definitely do playback.
How do you define playback voice? Like you mentioned playback, your voice, you know, while it's amazing, you sound
because
good.
I'm not, I think when I came into the industry, the songs were a lot more desi in movies. It's only in the mid-2000s when you had people like Vishal Shekhar, Preetham, Salim Sulaiman, who came and changed the sound. When film music started sounding like pop music. And that's why you could use different voices. Otherwise, songs were a lot more desi, and I'm not classically trained. I'm Western classical. I'm not Hindustani classical. I've never learned Hindustani classical vocal because I never thought I'd be living in India and singing in this market. I'm born and brought up in England. I was doing Western classical. I thought I'd be a pop star over there. I never thought my life and my career would bring me to India. As much as I loved Hindi movies, मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि मेरा नाम यहाँ पे बनेगा. I thought it was going to be there. So I never trained in Hindustani classical. Like my Indian pop icons were, of course, Asha Bhosle because I loved her because of her masala, and Nazia Hassan. I was a Nazia Hassan fan, so I was like, I'm in that space. I'm not in this classical space. So of course, that's why I was never considered. And on top of it, because of the glamorous image, you see what happens in our industry is if you're glamorous, then you're probably not so talented. You can't be all. Like when I was doing Ik Pardesi, people thought I was the model. They didn't believe I was the singer. Nee, how can she look like that and dance and she's also singing? I'm like, oh, it does happen internationally like that. You can look good and dance and sing. It's called a triple threat. So I'm like, you know, you can do it if you give someone a chance. So I think it was always that, you know, like funnily enough here, if you're hot and glamorous, then essentially people don't think you're so talented.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's changing now.
It's changing now.
It's changing now, thankfully. It's much better now.
Love to hear you sing more in movies as well.
Thank you.
We'll just have a quick question answer round. I am going to ask you to, pick your, it's very simple. You just have to pick your favorites. Like, you have to opt out of the two. That's it.
Sure.
So let's start. Lata Mangeshkar or Asha Bhosle?
Asha Bhosle. Lata ji's iconic, but Asha ji's masala.
Kishore Kumar or Manna Dey?
Kishore da. Any day Kishore da. The expressions, the feelings from fun songs to sad songs, that range. And I've seen him perform live as a kid, so I can never forget that.
He's amazing. Are you an Instagram person or a Twitter person?
I was a Twitter person because I'm very opinionated, but I think it's safer to be on Instagram.
For health safety. Health reasons.
Yeah. No, also because I think when it comes to music and being relevant, I think Instagram's a much more fun place.
Yeah. True. Day person or a night person?
Day person. I'm early to rise, early to bed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm that annoying kid who used to go to school really happy at 8 in the morning singing. I'm that annoying kid. So I love mornings.
Yeah, you just mentioned you like studying.
Yeah, I like studying. I love mornings. I don't like very late nights. Yeah.
Chai or coffee?
Coffee. Have you seen Pyar Ke Side Effects? I'm all about the coffee.
Oh, I thought that was for the character.
No, but I also love coffee. I gave up chai.
Finally, singing or acting?
Singing, any day.
Nice.
Plus, in singing, you get to act.
Yeah, it's kind of an expression only.
Exactly.
Right?
I think the reason that some of the old time singers were so iconic is because they used to act out the song. They used to be told who they're singing for, and they used to adapt themselves. So singers were actually actors.
Yeah.
And even like for us, like when you sing a song and then you know how you're going to do a music video, you're kind of doing a bit of both.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gives me a really big high to do that.
Finally, it will be very unfair for your fans if I don't ask you to sing 2 lines from Gori Hai.
No, of course, I'd love to. Gori hai kalaiya, tu la de mujhe hari hari chudiyan, apna bana le mujhe sajna, mange hai bas tujhe, dil mera besabra, all the time jaane man kare tera shukra, sun mere mahiya, पुकारे तुझे मेरी अंगड़ाइयाँ अपना बना ले मुझे साजना. There you go. Thank you.
Wow. You added a completely different and a fresh touch to it. It sounds amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.
So this brings an end to our conversation. Thank you so much for talking to us and sharing details.
Thank you.
Lastly, do you want anything? Do you have anything to say to your fans?
Yes, just thank you so much for supporting me over the years and everything that I'm doing. And this time I won't leave long gaps. Definitely a couple more songs coming out this year, so look out for them. And before we go, you're going to do the hook step with me.
Yes.
This much you have to sit and do. You can do it while sitting at least.
You have to teach me. What do we do? How do we do it? Okay, sing and we do.
Apna bana le mujhe sajna. See, anyone can do it, so you guys better be doing it.
I hope I don't look like a monkey right
now. No, you look great. Thank you.